Hey guys, welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. And alongside James, my name is Ryan Chambers. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of THPN. As always, this is our third episode in 3 days after not doing an episode for like a month, James. So Dallas Stars get the win here tonight, a very large win when it looked like there were trap game vibes very early on. They get the win 6-1 over the Vancouver Canucks. And they have 9 straight wins, which is a record for the Dallas Stars. Not a franchise record yet, but it is most definitely a Dallas Stars record. So we are getting very, very close, and I am very, very excited for where this team is. James, there's lots of different ways you can go with this game tonight. Where's your thought process with this one tonight?
My thought process is the Canucks suck. Like that was a painful game to watch. Honestly, the first period was fun and exciting, and then you saw the Erne goal go in, and you were kind of like, okay, the Stars are winning. Because if you have that kind of luck against a team that is as bad as the Canucks have been as of lately, they're not winning that game. There's no chance. And from that point on, I mean, the Stars completely dominated play. The Canucks had no answers for anything, never really looked dangerous, and kind of left they completely left their rookie goaltender out to dry, which was a little disappointing because he actually played pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it's kind of sad and honest and weird when the Stars have a completely dominating win like that, and your thought process is, oh, poor Tolopilo. I was looking at every group chat I was a part of was like, oh, I'm so sorry for that kid. I was on there was one on X that I was a part of that I was mentioning that. I mentioned it myself before I even looked at all of the group chats I'm a part of in terms of Stars chats. There's an Instagram one. I was just that everyone was talking about poor Tolopilo. It was just like that poor kid just didn't get any help whatsoever, and not only didn't get any help, but his poor defense just didn't give him any kind of decent support here tonight. Like I just feel so sorry for the guy. But
yeah, that was a tough one to watch.
Yes, it was fun. It was still fun to watch.
Oh, for us, it was great.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. And I agree with you. I thought the first period was entertaining. I didn't think the Stars came out ready to play. They come out against a better team, and I don't think the score is 6-1. I'm honestly, it's probably could have been any other team, and it would have been a closer game. But let's just talk about just a couple of the talking points early on. It's like I mentioned, 9 straight wins the Stars are going for. Vancouver's nowhere near the playoffs. This was something that they talked about early on in the broadcast. And the Stars going with the same lineup as Saturday, which I was a little bit surprised about. I was halfway expecting to see Capo or Petrovic back in, but we didn't. We saw the same lineup as Saturday. And I mean, at the same time, why not? And it's been working. So if it's working, don't break something that's working really well. And the first thing that the broadcast talked about is, and I got a little pushback actually on social media a little bit the last couple of days, because I put up a couple of shorts on social media about Wyatt Johnston and how great he's been, and some of the stats that he's had 3 goals, 4 points, 9 shots, and 17 shot attempts in the last 2 games. And some people were giving me a little bit of pushback in the fact that, Wyatt Johnston is still doing good and everything like that, but he's still surrounded by elite players. And I'm like, he is the elite player right now. He is the best player, technically speaking, on the Stars roster. You could technically say that probably Robo has maybe a little bit more in terms of just, I don't want to say street cred, but that's a way you could put it. But I think Wyatt Johnston still deserves all of the eggs in his basket for the way he's played the last 3 games.
Yeah, Johnston's been incredible. It really it's the way he looks on the ice more than anything. The way he's playing with the puck and making just making his own space this year. I mean, we saw it last year a bit down the stretch, and he had like he'd go once a week, he would go off and just deke the entire other team and score a goal by himself. We saw that multiple times last year. He's just doing that on the top line this year, and that's been something that's really important, I think, because you're going to be playing against the other team's best defensive players, and he's finding a way to continue to dangle like that, even with the elite defense that he's playing against.
Now, the one thing I will kind of, I don't want to say criticize, but because what are you supposed to criticize about this? But the only goal the Canucks score here tonight is I think it's because Wyatt Johnston doesn't get back quick enough on the back check. But at the same time, there was a couple of missed assignments. It was just he was the one that happened to be the closest to Evander Kane, and it just kind of bounced off of Evander Kane's skate. But despite everything else that he's doing, that's just something that you take off, you throw away, because that's bound to happen. And he's still young, he's still learning that part of the game a little bit. But to be completely honest with you, I was a little bit nervous starting off the game, because I was just like, this is totally a trap game. 8-game winning streak. You're going into Vancouver, and Vancouver's won 2 games out of the last 20 something. And I was just like, oh my goodness, it's going to be the Vancouver Canucks who kind of end the longest, franchise win streak for this team. And thankfully it didn't happen tonight. But were you worried at all after the first goal?
A little bit. Yeah, for sure. You could not be, especially with the games that we've had against the Canucks the past couple of years. You think about the last minute 3-goal comeback last year from them.
James, I don't even want to think about that, because we were up 5-2. I was there in the press box.
It always is going to come up when we play the Canucks now. And they seem to have just beaten the Stars when they play. That's the one team that normally the Stars just can't get over. This season's not been the case. The Canucks have been bad and really bad at that. So they once the Erne goal bounces in like that, like I said earlier, it's just, you just know they're gonna win that one. So first goal was scary. It's a little bit of luck from them too. I thought Harley actually made an ill-advised pinch in the neutral zone. Kind of a weird play from him. Not something that you normally see. They pulled it back though, and they continued to play their game a little bit less physical tonight. Probably because you're not playing a divisional opponent. It's going to happen. But overall, they got back to their game very quickly here. And especially the bottom 2 lines had a great night.
Ryan with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Ryan. I am the only one right now. Hungry, crying baby. But let's go 9 wins in a row. Just give us Lord Stanley right now. I don't want to say that too soon.
Maybe but win 16 in a row.
Even then, I don't care. Don't get me wrong, I love the wins, but right now I care more about the playoffs and the 16 wins required in the playoffs. If I want 16 in a row, give me 16 in a row in the playoffs. That's where I would want it.
And it's nice to see. Sweeps. It's nice to see them picking up the games against the easier opponents too, because they weren't doing that earlier in the season. There has been some easier opponents in this stretch, but you can only play the games that are in front of you, and they're beating those teams right now. And this month as a whole is going to be a little tougher, but it's really important to grab these easier games.
So let's break this game period by period down for a second, James. Just some early observations that I had in the first period. It was sloppy. It was quiet in the arena. I was shocked. And the Stars got a couple of... Huh?
Should you be shocked, though?
Maybe not.
The worst team in the NHL by 20 points, it feels like.
Okay, fine. Whatever. I was trying to be nice, James.
No, there's no need to be nice with this team.
There were some good rush chances, and that would continue into the second and third period, tremendously. But Ritzkovian's line was forcing some turnovers. The Vancouver was just turning the puck over a lot, even in the first period. It was the Stars were doing really nothing with it. The Vancouver would make it 1-0. It was Evander Kane. I don't know if you've seen this viral video, James, but there's like this politician or whatever, right? And he's giving like a press conference speech or whatever. And apparently one of the, political staffers has a sign, and there's like some, journalists that they don't like. And he's like holding the sign in front of the guy's, in front of the journalist's camera. That's how I felt like towards Jim Nill right then and there. I was just like, Jim Nill, nothing to see here. Don't look. I was like, no, Jim, leave it. I don't want it. So it was a huge rebound from Oettinger, who wasn't all that tested. He had a couple of rebounds that kind of came off of him. There were some, like I mentioned, there was some defensive coverage that was a little It felt a little soft, but are you worried about Ottinger's rebound control? Because normally he's pretty good at that, and we've seen a lot of those rebounds get away from him the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think that's just a side effect of him basically not playing for
not playing a lot.
So it is what it is. He looks better as the game goes along too. So you can tell he's starting to get into a rhythm, and really where Otter ends up doing his best work is after the trade deadline. So maybe there's a bit of that going on too, and he's definitely going to get a little mental boost after the trade deadline. He just plays his stats after are just ridiculous.
Well, and to Vancouver's credit, they got a power play, and it was Jamie Benn with the roughing penalty. Just 2 stupid penalties by Jamie Benn tonight. It was really stupid. And that first Vancouver power play actually looked pretty good for the first minute and a half. I was just like, oh, dang, are we really going to go down 2-0? And the Dallas was also struggling with some neutral zone exits, just trying to get the puck out of the neutral zone and into the Vancouver zone, which I think it was a little bit of, I don't want to say unluckiness, because I don't really think that's 100% true. But it just seemed like every pass they were trying to get at their own blue line, they could not get it from their zone into the neutral zone cleanly. And the only thing they could do was basically a high flip or just basically give control back to the Canucks for a while. And then we get to the I don't even know if you can call this an equalizer, but it is an equalizer goal. And Adam Erne with the most Adam Erne goal of all time. Just absolute pinball nonsense. It was his first goal since December, his 4th of the year, and just an absolute pure gift from the hockey gods for the Dallas Stars. And when like you mentioned earlier, James, is like, once that happened, I knew we were losing this game. It was just like that. And there are a lot of people on the social media, especially X, that were saying that is the Vancouver Canucks season in a nutshell. Just right there, that goal, just ridiculous.
That is one of the goals of all times. If you did not see that in live, you need to go back and find the replays and watch it, because that is by far the stupidest goal I've ever seen. Like, the defenseman makes a good play, blocks the shot, and it goes in anyway. How's that happen?
I don't know, but it's I thought it was hilarious. That's not the worst worst transition I've ever seen in terms of goals. That I don't even know if you weren't alive when this happened, actually, James. But you've probably seen it before. But it was Patrick Steffen, and he had an empty net opportunity to put away the Edmonton Oilers, and it was literally just him, and the puck bounced on him right in front of the net, and he tried to go backhand with it. The puck bounced over his stick, and it goes into the corner. Probably 6 to 10 seconds remaining in the third period. It goes the opposite way. Edmonton Oilers score with like a second remaining to tie the game. And I would be surprised if anybody in the chat remembers who it was that scored the goal for the Edmonton Oilers. James, you got any ideas?
Nope.
Not a clue. All right. Well, I'm gonna spoil it for everybody. It was Alish Hemsky, former Dallas Star, not Dallas Star yet, but former Dallas Star. And yeah, that's the worst one I've ever seen. But the Adam Erne goal was a close second. I'll be honest. Okay. I'm not sure what you do for if you're Glenn Gulletson in the first intermission, but you're like, guys, like, come on. Like, I mean, I don't think he's not one of those guys to yell or anything like that. But seriously, like that's one where you're like, you got gifted an absolute gift goal, and you need to go out and take care of business. And the Stars did absolutely that. The second and third period, it wasn't even close. I think it was like 37-7 in shots from that point on, from the first intermission till the end of the game. And they were just, the cycle game was going. The rebound chances were increasing, which was a big difference from the first period, which they weren't doing very much. Robo and Wyatt actually have some chemistry together, but that's not, that's not crazy or unfounded because they're two great players. And then, like I said, the shots just flipped dramatically. What did you see in the second period?
Yeah, the second and third were really two of the same. It was mostly forechecking from the Stars that did the Canucks in, just pressuring a team on the back end who is desperately missing Quinn Hughes. I mean, painfully obvious that he was gone, especially tonight, because every time the Stars dumped it in, it felt like they got it back after the first of this. The first, they were dumping it in a lot and weren't getting it, but they definitely flipped the switch for the last two, and then it just felt like the Canucks couldn't do anything but pass it straight back to the Stars.
I just never seen a team play that badly before,
and they gave up too. That was a crazy thing. That team
turnover. Yeah, it's like turnover after turnover. They just didn't care or passed your problems along. Just like, I mean, I've seen some bad games this year. Like my mind keeps going back to the Edmonton game where we just absolutely destroyed them. And then the same thing, the Montreal game. I think we won like 7-1 or 7-0 or something like that. It was like the worst goal differential in a home game in Montreal history or in recent history or something like that. Like, even then, like that was by far the worst performance out of a team that I've seen this regular season from a Stars perspective. Like, I again, mad props to Tolopila. He actually made some two enormous saves in the third period. But couple of other goals here in the second. It started with the Bichsel goal. Like, oh my gosh, he got activated from the blue line. What a shot! And they were just passing the puck like it was like they were the Harlem Globetrotters of hockey. I mean, there was no chance for Tolopilo on that shot. I don't think anybody would have been able to make that save there. And then after Bichsel scores his first goal of the game, Robo would get a power play goal. And again, just another absolute bullet, just ridiculous. And Duchesne had some great patience and some vision there. And it really felt like even at 3-1 that Vancouver just mentally cracked. And our dad pointed out that, oh, well, it's 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. And I'm like, not anymore. 3-goal lead is kind of the worst. And in the back of my head, I was thinking exactly what you talked about earlier, that 3-goal, last minute and a half loss that the Stars had in overtime last year to these Vancouver Canucks. And thankfully that wouldn't be the case. But what are your thoughts on either one of those goals?
Yeah, the Bichsel goal was really the big one for me. You see connection between Lyubushkin and Bichsel, which has seemingly not been a great pairing throughout the season when they got a chance to play together. It felt like they never really clicked, but tonight, I mean, they were on all cylinders all night long. They were making very comfortable plays, which seemed more troublesome for them earlier in the season.
By the way, I love how we're both talking about the Stars game, but we're both paying attention to the Colorado Avalanche and Los Angeles Kings game.
Nobody needs to know that.
Hey, you're the one that's talking with other people in chat with your personal account, okay?
Okay.
Like, sorry, I'm exposing you here, but like, come on now. So here's a question about the second period. Was it a mix of both in terms of the Stars decided to stop playing around with the peas on their plate and Vancouver ran out of gas, or was it just one or the other?
I think the second period was more the Stars just playing how they should play against a team who traded away their captain and best player in Quinn Hughes. So the third period was more of the Canucks just suck and gave up.
And I mean that sounds harsh saying that the Canucks sucked, but again, never have seen a team quite play like that.
I mean, that they're probably going to get the first round pick. I mean, if they don't, it'll be so sad.
I mean, they need it. They truly need a Gavin McKenna type player. Just some very minor critiques that I had. Harley had a kind of a weak board attempt on the backhand that allowed Vancouver to kind of cycle a little bit. I don't know. Nils Lundqvist, he just has these random whiffs on passes, and it led to an enormous chance for Nils Höglander. And I was just like, geez, can we please not do that? And then just a little bit more Oettinger rebound control stuff there in the second period. But I can't really be upset about a period where you're +2 in goal differential. You go 27-7 at that point at the end of the second period. Just very minor critiques, and I'm just trying to find things to talk about at this point. To be completely honest with you, but anything to that?
I think Harley kind of had a tough night. Luckily, he was playing against the Vancouver Canucks, so it didn't matter.
even then, it wasn't. He
had the hardest night out of our whole defense corps, but considering the Stars scored 6 goals, it's easy to pick out someone who maybe didn't have the best night.
Well, but again, that one goal probably shouldn't have even been scored anyways. And
I still
pessimistic.
Think that's mostly Harley's fault, honestly.
You still think it's mostly Harley's fault?
If you go back and you look at the NHL like overview thing where they have all the player circles moving around,
it actually is really cool.
He just skates forward in the neutral zone and pinches for no reason. Like there's genuinely no reason he's doing it. He just does it, and that's what creates the almost pretty much 3-on-1 the other way.
Now, while I will agree with you that maybe he shouldn't have pinched in that instance, that is a thing that I would like to see Wyatt Johnston be there for, be there for extra. That is his job.
Bork is the one who was the furthest back. And I don't know if he just expected Harley to make a smarter play than he did or what happened, but clearly the Stars were not on the same page on that play.
And again, I'm sure they'll talk about it and really tear it apart and be like, hey, maybe next time you should call this. But whatever. Again, not going to be upset about something like that.
Oh, Ryan disappeared. All right. I'll talk about the third period some then. Third period, I mean, the Stars came out, kept playing the same way, and the Vancouver Canucks just completely disappeared. They really did. I mean, they stopped playing. They were turning the puck over every single time it got in their own defensive zone. It was handed right to a Stars player constantly over and over and over again. And that's how you see the Matt Duchene goal really early. And then you see Colin Blackwell with an even worse, more egregious turnover in the third as well. And then you see another Bichsel snipe late in the period, which was, it's fun to see Bichsel get a 2-goal game. I don't know how often that's going to happen.
I'm sorry, James. This is what I get. I'm even going to show you. See that little itty bitty tiny cord right there? I knocked into that with my mouse and kind of screwed everything up. Everything's connected to my dock, so I apologize about that. But James, it sounds like you pretty much summed up the third period in like a minute. So
yeah, just a quick summary of the third period. I mean, what's the point in talking about it when the Canucks literally stopped playing? That's what happened. They literally stopped playing. The third period was not a period of hockey.
Do you think they already stopped playing after the 3-1 lead, or do you think when it got to 4-1, that's when they were just like, screw it up?
Probably 4-1 goal is what did it. Early third period, 4-1 goal, and then there's just nothing the rest of the period.
It was really nice to see Colin Blackwell get rewarded. He doesn't get to score very often. And it was just some relentless forecheck by that line on the 5-1 goal. The 4-1 goal, I have never seen a turnover that bad. Marcus Pettersson, like, as I know he's a good defense. That's the scary thing is I know he's a good defenseman. It's literally just it's so suckish over there that it's kind of intertwined itself into the locker room. And even the good players who Marcus Pettersson was a fantastic defenseman for the Pittsburgh Penguins for so long. It even affects good players like that. So, but I do want to mention is what a pass by Sam Steele there. Tolopilo kind of bit hard that he was gonna try and shoot that off the backhand, and instead he sent it to Duchesne. And Duchesne, to his credit, he did the exact thing he was supposed to. He deposited it into the back of the net. It was open, wide open. And again, that's another, I keep talking about it, but poor Tolopilo, he had no chance to get that. So, and then
that
of course,
was a really tough period from defenseman Pettersson there. He's on the ice for all 3 goals and can pretty much be tied to all 3 turnovers too. So,
well, and then Bichsel, like you mentioned, he gets 2 goals. His first multi-goal game in the NHL, which kind of makes me think he's probably done that in the AHL a couple of times. We'll have to ask Chris about it another day. But both of his shots were ridiculous, which makes you think, why doesn't he just do that more? Right?
Yeah. I mean, those snipes were ridiculous. I don't know where those came from. Maybe tonight he's just like feeling it. They might need to test his pee after that game.
Yeah, no joke, right? And then not to mention, he had like a 94 mile per hour like slap shot. Like, goodness, I would not want to be in front of that.
Yeah, that might be the hardest shot from any Stars player all season long.
Do you remember Colin Miller?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Colin Miller. That's all he did.
That's all he did. It was not accurate whatsoever. But dang, could he rip that thing?
Fast.
He could hit it like 100 miles per hour sometimes. So, some other things in the third period. I never thought I would get a chance to say this, but Nils Lundqvist with a breakaway. It wasn't able to put it away. Didn't get a whole lot on it. He tried to go backhand. Didn't really work. Ben with just another kind of dumb penalty, just going chaos mode there, I guess.
I thought that one was kind of stupid to be called. If you go back and you look at the replay, it actually looks like he doesn't touch him at all, but it definitely looks like he does. So.
Otter did have a good save in the third period too. Duchesne had a really bad turnover in the neutral zone, and Otter kind of bailed him out. And then Tolopilo, again, he had 2 enormous saves in the third period that I got to give him full credit for. So, what's your turning point in the game for the Dallas Stars? What do you think was the turning point here tonight?
The Adam Erne goal. What was that? I mean, you're a Canucks team that's playing a good period, and you fought hard to get your 1-goal lead, and the worst offensive player on the other team takes a shot at your defenseman's shin pads, and it goes off the back wall, off your goaltender, and in.
Well, and that's the other thing. as like the defenseman did his job. He blocked the shot. And it was nobody's fault. It was on Vancouver side. It was nobody's fault for how that goal went in. I think that's when I get especially really frustrated when things aren't going our way and when it's not going the Stars' way, is when you have absolutely nobody to blame and the only thing you can say is that's hockey. That's stupid. The stupidest thing ever.
The only way that it would have been worse for the Canucks is if Arttu Huru was the one who shot that puck.
True.
He's been in the AHL all season.
Yeah. Which he almost had one there in the third period.
He almost
got one. and he still actually hasn't gotten his first NHL goal. So I'm hoping that he's still in the lineup tomorrow night. I have no idea if he will. But honestly, after the game here tonight, why not just let him stay for one more game and let Hintz rest for one extra game, even though he's on the trip, and just let Hintz come back on Friday against Colorado, and they're really going to need him. Get him some extra rest because, again, with the Olympics as well. So. Okay, who are your biggest winner and biggest losers here tonight, James?
Biggest winners definitely Bichsel. Which for all the wrong reasons that you would expect him to get the biggest winner, right? If he gets the biggest winner for his 2 snipes, not because he played super physical or anything like that, but because he had 2 wicked snipes.
That is just ridiculous. Who is your biggest loser tonight?
It's Marcus Pettersson in the third period because ouch.
Yeah, that's a big one. See, I'm not gonna do it. I want to give my biggest winner to Tolopilo because I feel really bad for him, and that's the only thing he can win.
The biggest loser for that.
But yeah, he's my honorable mention. How about that? Right. I'll give my biggest winner to, I'll give it to Colin Blackwell. How about that?
2.9.
2.9. He gets a goal and an assist. And
in the same building that he last scored in.
Right, exactly, right. Which was a while ago. But yeah, you know what? That I'll take that for him because there's not many times that we get to do that. And that is a playoff overtime game winner in game 3 in the playoffs against the Colorado Avalanche last year, Colin Blackwell. So
game 2.
Was it game 2? I can't remember if it was game 2 or game 3, but either way, he's my biggest winner.
Whatever.
My biggest loser is, and I'll give it to the Vancouver fan base because it is such a stark difference between the way the Vancouver Canucks are run and the way that the Dallas Stars are run. And I feel completely terrible for the Vancouver fan base. And that's crazy because, Tom Gaglardi I think that's like his home base, basically, is Vancouver, British Columbia. So, I feel so bad for that franchise and for the fans there. And I'll give a special extra sorry to Shannon, the hockey guy on YouTube, because I still remember watching him do that video on Quinn Hughes when Quinn Hughes got traded, and it looked like his dog had just died. The way he was talking about this team and how they've never really had a direction, and they've had one good year and then 2 or 3 bad years followed behind that one good year. So maybe eventually, for his sake, the Vancouver Canucks will eventually get better, and maybe Gavin McKenna will help this team. I don't know, but man, Francesco Aquilini, Jim Rutherford, Patrick Alvin, you guys have got to get your stuff together. This team has been so poorly run for so long, and it's not fair for a fan base to go through something like that.
yeah, it's a tough situation this year for sure. And only thing you can hope for is that they would actually win the lottery, because at this point, I mean, they traded away their best player before, like halfway through the season. I mean, they knew they were dead in the water for a long time, and I don't even know what you do from here on out.
You sell everything off and you tank, which is what they're doing, and you hope it gets better next season. And they keep talking. I think they said a hybrid retool. Okay, shut up. It's a rebuild. Like you need a rebuild. You trade away probably the most talented player that you've ever had, that's ever worn a Vancouver Canucks, uniform. And like I know that like Matt Sundin wore a Vancouver Canucks jersey, and there were a couple others intertwined in there that wore Vancouver Canucks jerseys. But let's be honest, Quinn Hughes is the greatest player that has ever played for the Vancouver Canucks.
He's one of the best players in the league, and he just, I mean,
yeah. I mean, between
baffling, man.
Between him, Makar, and Werenski, that's the three-headed monster in terms of the best defenseman in the league. And it's been that way for several years now, 3, 4, 5 years. So, man, are we sure we're a Dallas Stars podcast? We're talking about the Vancouver Canucks so much. I just feel so bad for them. Like,
clobbered, man.
It makes me really, really, really grateful for Tom Gillardy more than anybody else. Like, thank you for letting us spend to the cap. Thank you for getting the right people for the jobs. Thank you for everything. Like, I still remember the dog days or the dark ages from like basically when I was in high school. Like, it's just I never want to go back there. It doesn't look like the Stars are going to for a very long time. Once again, Stars get the win 6-1 over the Vancouver Canucks here tonight. James, you got anything else for us?
Nope.
That's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for following along with us live. Thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook. Promo code there is THBN. Make sure you click like and subscribe so you never miss an episode of Starcast Remarks. As always, please leave us a 5-star review if you are listening on the audio side. And even if you are listening on the audio side, go and hit subscribe for us on YouTube. We really appreciate that. Alongside James, my name is Ryan. We will catch you guys on the flip side. And I hope you guys have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening. Good night and go Stars. James, can you give us a you know what?
GG, boys.